And hello everyone, this is Yeffer Battler, and today we're going to be going throughout the game collecting all the upgrades for both hero and dark characters, the ones we missed during the actual playthrough. Along with such, we're going to be showing you what exactly the Chao Garden is, how you access it, and some little tips and tricks about how to raise your Chao, what can you do with them, and little mini games. So without further ado, let's begin. First off on our list of upgrades is Sonic's very last upgrade actually. So if you go back to Cityscape, Sonic's very first level, and travel down this vertical pathway, you might remember from the very first part that there is a little floor comprised of 4 iron boxes, as you can see right there. Now since we now have the flame bracelet, or flame ring, or in bounce bracelet, we're now able to break iron containers. So once we bounce down here, we get access to a secret area. And here is where we get our very last upgrade for Sonic, the magic gloves. These are pretty much don't really serve that much of a practical use in a fast-paced gameplay, but it's just something you can do for the hell of it. The magic gloves allow you to, I guess, capture any enemy in a crystal ball-like state. So if you press Y, switch to magic hands, and press B, we now have a little friend robot. We can do as we please, like throw. That's pretty much it. You can't really use it for anything else, just a holdable item. If you want, you can like claim. You can be like Pokemon though. Claim a best friend and try to get him throughout the level. Sadly, that one won't be joining us today. But since Sonic's done, let's move on to Tails. Now Tails is second last upgrade. You have to go back to the very first level of Tails, Prison Lane. Once you get to the very end level where the goal ring is, you step out this room, and you'll notice if you turn to the right, you'll see a little guy sneaking right there. You kill that guy, and the gate opens over there. And for this one, you have to have the bazooka, which you should have by this point of the game. You kill these 2 guys, the gate opens, and we gain access to the laser blaster, an upgrade to your, well, laser missile launcher thing. This pretty much allows the blast radius of the previous laser shot to be better. But now, we're going to switch over to, I believe, Hidden Base. Not Hidden Base. Yeah, Hidden Base. So I'm just using this point as a reference, the first checkpoint before the sand bit. This one can also be recognized by when you first meet the brand of robot monkeys, or Kikis as they're called. You jump down here, you break these iron crates, and the Mystic Melody is right there. Now since I didn't really go that much in detail about the Mystic Melody, it's pretty much you press B next to different totem poles or temples or whatever, and a few different things happen. Sometimes the trailer ring opens, sometimes you open a door, and sometimes a mysterious portal to nowhere appears. And to come out of this room, you get a nice little Chao key. Now for Knuckles, again, we have to go back to the very first level. Right when you start the level, jump up this tube and travel to your, not right, but left. You glide all the way over here. I guess collecting this Master Emerald in a way, might as well. Glide all the way over here. You climb on top of this little statue, and you can barely see on my screen one of those diggable transport areas. You jump down here, and you get access to Knuckles' Mystic Melody. Pretty much the Mystic Melody is an upgrade that actually traverses throughout all characters. Every single character gains access to Mystic Melody. So yeah. Mission accomplished here. So now we're going to head into the very next level. Since we're on heroes, now we're going to switch over to Shadows there. Now Shadows, again, is in the very first level. Since we gain access to the Lightspeed Dash, we can now access the secret upgrade. So if you come up here, where you see the road close sign, this Lightspeed Dash into that guy, and this bit, you gotta take a left, roll under there, and use the Lightspeed Dash to go across the trailer rings, gaining access to the Flame Ring. Pretty much is exactly the same as Sonic's Flame Ring, as in it can break iron containers. Even has a little example stage over here. So if you break these, you get a little press that button and rock it. So now we'll switch over to Shadow's last one. So back on Skywell, this one's pretty much very simple and probably might be best. So if you come up here, you go all the way to the part where you have to find the first rocket, or a traversable rocket. You skip the rocket, and you go up to where the Chao box is. You jump in the Chao box and wait like a few seconds. You see an invisible gun beetle come up. You homing attack up here, and you gain the light speed attack, or ancient light. exactly the same as Sonic, though, where you can charge up and attack many things. Sally, I'm a goose, and fell off. So let's go to the next upgrade. This one is also back in Eggman's very first level. They tend to do that a lot. When you're going down this first descending platform, you break all of these guys. You break 2 doors. The entrance into this hallway and this one. You'll see 2 containers. 2 containers that can be broken. You break those containers, and this one also requires bazooka Leno. You break iron boxes, and you gain access to the laser blaster. An upgrade similar to, or pretty much exactly the same as Tails' laser blaster upgrade, which allows us to have a wider explosion range when we shoot things. I even give a little example here. Boom. Bigger explosion, brighter lights. Now we gotta go to Sand Ocean. So this one's again is in the very first bit of the game level. So you have to ride this guy all the way around here. It's not in there where usually iron containers contain upgrades. No, you gotta wait till you get all the way to the other side, and you'll see the Mystic Melody upgrade right across there. Hover over there, and then you jump down in here, kill that guy first, why not? And you gain access to the Mystic Melody. For example, this one allows us to go into a portal. Well, not just any portal. A portal into the land of jars, which have our C2 break like a madman. So now we head into Rouge, pretty much the very last areas of the upgrades. You jump from the very beginning and jump right here. Mystic Melody, right here. Took about, what, a few seconds? And we're done. The one thing I like about when you're collecting upgrades is, once you collect them, they're automatically saved. So you just go and looking for upgrades, you can find it, quit the level, and you keep it. Which is what I like. Very helpful. So now we're gonna head into Security Lane and get the very, very last upgrade of the game. Keep in mind though, pretty much all this episode is gonna be in post-commentary, as I kinda prefer not to have everything be like semi-live. It does help with editing and such. So, being I don't know where the Chaos Emerald is and can't be bothered to look for it anymore, you'll notice over here there is a wall of iron containers. Sadly, we have no stable ground to be able to kick it open, and you can't fly out through that little slit, to my knowledge at least. You have to be very accurate, but I'm not really accurate, so we're gonna need a bit of help from ancient magic. For this one, you actually is required to have the Mystic Melody. So once you do a little song and dance, platforms appear. You jump on platform to platform to platform to platform, and you kick open a box. There we go. I got time, Eggman. And now we get access to the very last upgrade of the game, Treasure Scope. This one pretty much acts exactly like Knuckles' sunglasses, as in when you activate it, you see invisible items and goodies. So yeah, there we go. Now this part of the video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to actually access the Chao Garden for the very first time. And for an example level, I chose Metal Harbor, because who doesn't like some Metal Harbor? Now, I'm sure you noticed throughout the levels, or at least throughout this playthrough if you're watching, little blue boxes that have a little Chao symbol on them. If you ever break the symbol, not the symbol, if you ever break the box, a key pops out. Once you collect the key, that key stays with you throughout the whole level. Even if you die, you don't lose the key, unless you restart for obvious reasons. But if you do happen to find another Chao box, they usually contain animals. For this one example, you find a phoenix. Now, in order to actually enter the Chao Gardens, you don't have to collect like all the keys in every single level. No. You just have to beat the level with the Chao key in your possession. Once you do that, you get warped automatically to the Chao Garden. Another thing you can do throughout the level is watch out for any chaos drives and hidden animals everywhere. But do keep in mind, if you're trying to grind for certain animals, you got to be careful to not overgrind, because you can only carry a certain amount of animals and chaos drives. So you got to keep that in mind always. Also, nice little thing is, remember that when I went through Metal Harbor in the playthrough, and it said there's an up area? This time I get to actually show it, because I'm like at full concentration. Boom! Extreme points. So I'm just gonna enjoy launching a nuclear missile to places, I guess. Let's never explain what happens to this missile. Maybe it's have to blow up the moon. But since we're nearing the end of the level, music good, skateboard area, loop-de-loop, and boom. Mission complete. We now have access to the Chao Garden. Or Chao World, or whatever it's called. I think it's Chao Garden.
Just made it.
Indeed. We did jump off a missile now. So now we have the classic sound, and we get warped all the way to Chao World. Now you can access Chao. You can pretty much access Chao World with any character now that we first introduced it. But sadly, my memory card was corrupted, and I lost all my Chao Garden data. So now I kind of have to show you the bare basics. So this is a nice introduction. So once you enter the Chao Garden for your very first time, you'll notice a few things. One, you're pooping out animals and chaos drives. Not to be concerned about. That usually happens. Also, you have access to 2 eggs. You can normally hatch the eggs by nursing it, being very nice to it, singing lullabies, and so on and so forth. And if you do that enough, you can just wait a bit. This level will give it little hugs, little shakes, and it'll hatch on its own. Oh, there we go. It's about to hatch. Oh! Oh, the miracle of birth. Or, if you're a complete asshole, you can pick up the egg and toss it. If you chuck that thing in a wall, you ain't making scrambled eggs. No, you're making a chow. Extreme birthing right there. Now, in order to actually upgrade your chow's abilities, you have to feed them animals and chaos drives. Depending which animal you give them, determines what stats they get. So in this case, I gave him a raccoon, so he gets swim and run. If I give the other one a seal, which one has a mouth, which is kind of weird, he gets a lot of swim and a smidge of power. Not all animals are the same. Some specialize in, obvious things, such as seals being really good at swimming. Penguins, really good at swimming. Some animals actually decrease the number of stats you have for certain animals. So let's give him another penguin, because why not? Once you fill up the bar, your chow levels up in that category. So now, since for this example, we leveled up swim, so he's now a much better swimmer. If you give the other one enough fly, I need to be out there. Now, if you give the animal, if you raise the stats of the chow enough, they actually become very adept in the subject. Since if I'm giving him enough birds, I'm not going to be able to get that bird. If I give him enough birds, or at least make his fly high enough, he actually starts flying. And if I give the swim one high enough swim, he actually becomes a quite excellent swimmer. Another thing you can do is, if your chow's smart enough or old enough, he can put stuff on his head, such as hats, shells, pumpkins, whatever you find. It's a nice little touch to personalize your chow, but if you do that, you can't really get it off, to my knowledge. And one thing that's very important about the chow racing system is if you want to compete in minigames and gain emblems. So that coconut right there does help you get minigames. Not minigames. Does help you get stamina. Stamina, if you feed this to any chow, helps them get stamina, so it raises the bar. That's usually primarily used for this area right there. Once you enter that cave, you get greeted by this. The Chow Stadium. Here's where you access various minigames. It's like Chow Racing, where you test your chow's speed, strength, flying ability, and swimming ability, as well as the stamina, in various races where you can win a variety of prizes, such as a little television, a crayon drawing set, a chow doll, and a ball. You can also participate in a karate-like tournament called Chow Karate, where stamina strength is most important here. In order to actually win, though, you have to have good stamina and keep cheering on your Chao, indicated by the hearts down below, same as racing. Now, another thing they added in SA2 is the light and dark Chao system, which is pretty much depending on who your Chao interacts with most, aka if Shadow interacts with the Chao, he turns into a dark Chao, or Sonic with another hero, regular Chao makes him a hero Chao. This also gives you access to not only a new type of Chao, but a new area to graze them in. Here, the Hero Garden, which is pretty much a perfect paradise for Chao, and the Dark Garden, complete with a blood lake and haunting atmosphere. If you're a really good Chao raiser, you can actually upgrade your Chao to adulthood and allow them to transform into either Devil Chao, Angel Chao, or a neutral Chaos Chao. That's for, like, you know, you gotta be really, really into the Chao Garden, which for SA2 being an upgrade of Knights' A-Life system, which is pretty much the AI, the raising system in the game, it's pretty much what most people come back to SC2 for, I believe. But if you go through the very first door that you see when you exit the Chao Garden, we gain access to Chao Garden, which is pretty much a Chao kindergarten. Now there are multiple things you can do here. You can go to Black Market, because that's in the kindergarten for some reason, and you can shop for things using the rings you collected throughout the game. Now you can buy fruit, seeds, hats, special items, special eggs and such, so on and so forth. And determining how many emblems you have, the more emblems you have, like I'm going to say right there, the rarer items you get. So it's kind of an incentive to collect a lot of emblems. Now the fortune-telling house doesn't tell you a fortune. It's not a fortune cookie. No, this is the place where you can name your Chao. Now, before this person tries to name a Chao, you know, give it a good name. Quartz. Like Quartz Quadrant. I would name it that if it was purple, but being I don't like the name Quartz, let's try again. If you press no, you can give her a second chance. So let's give her a second chance. Okay, being this person pretty much sucks at naming my Chao, if you press no twice, you have a chance to name your Chao yourself. So being this Chao actually has a mouth, let's name it Chomp. No, let's name it Chop. Choppy. No, I don't want Choppy. I want Chomp. Chompy. Nah, he's cool. Chompai. Chompai. So now you press OK, and your Chao is now named Chompai, or whatever you name it. You can come back here and rename your Chao if you get bored of whatever name you named him. Like, if you name him like Cody the Barbarian or something like that, you can come back here and name him Mogar or whatever. Now, the health center is pretty much what it is. It's the resident doctor's office. You can send your Chao here, make sure he's looking all fine. The guy gives you a scare. Horrible scare. But if you look at his medical chart, you can see what attributes he has, what skill he's best in, what type of age he is, his personality, favorite fruit type, age, times transformed, and yeah. So if you want to get a good use of your stats, see what the Chao is like, you go to the doctor's office. Now the principal's office isn't really, isn't where you get sent to when you're bad. This guy is pretty much, if you don't feel like using the internet, your next best bet. Because this guy gives you a lot of tips and tricks about the Chao Garden, how you raise your Chao and such. Now the classroom is an actual classroom. You drop off your Chao, and your Chao learns different things. So in today's lesson, we're using Go-Go Dance. You can leave up to 4 Chao here. Once you do, you cannot pick him up until he's learned it. So I swear to God, Chompy better get an A in this lesson. So yeah, he's there now. So let's bugger off. Sonic is so pissed. Now another thing about the hub is, since you're in the Chao lobby, when you collect Hero and Dark Chao, there becomes a staircase that descends down for Dark Chao over there, and a upper staircase that descends up for Hero, replicating, Descent to Hell, Rise to Heaven, or stuff like that. So now we're pretty much at the end of this little bonus episode, since I've shown you where all the upgrades are for Sonic's friends, Sonic himself, as well as a few basics of how the Chao Garden actually works and how you access it, and stuff like that. So now, since I'm going to exit the Chao Garden, you're going to be greeted by the very last chapter's trailer. So this has been Yeffer Battler, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
The ultimate life form of chaos dungeons. Desperation. Supersonic. Untamed power. New set
Professor Gerald the truth about 15 years ago.
Sonic Adventure 2. Last episode. Wishes are eternal.